Chris, what's up?
Hey Sam, how you doing?
Hey, happy. Thanks for doing this, man.
Of course.
Let's take a seat so we can talk a little bit. Hi, I'm Sam Mickens, Development Director, and back again to talk with you a little bit about Giving Day. And I'm here with Chris Williamson, class of 2000, one of our IB English teachers and also a global engagement faculty member. Let's have a seat and talk a little bit. It's fine. We can sit there. So, what you gotta have one space in there.
You gotta have the space. Always that. Space.
So, what was it like? We're here in the Perkinson Art Center in the theater. I know you and Marcus. I've heard stories. Marcus Jones. You talk about what it was like when you were here, but how different was it when you were here?
It is different in so many ways, but also fundamentally, the same in I think the important ways. Having been here as a student and, walking these halls now as a teacher, I can't help but reflect, on how things were versus how things, are now. And what I find is that the buildings have changed, and there's so many great, this theater, the way that the theater changed, the way the art center has changed, the science building, there's been so many wonderful new developments, but who the kids are, that remains the same. The, what they're, what they're doing, for fun, what their extracurriculars are, they still, it reminds me so much of my time here, and just in just the best ways. Everybody worries like, oh, the kids these days, and I always tell them the kids are fine. The kids are great.
Yeah, I've heard that too. It's interesting because I've had I did one of these with Hillary Grotos, who was in the 70s.
Yeah,
and she said the same thing.
Sure.
And Tory Burston was in the 10s, and he said the same thing. So that's great to hear. I'm sure our alums will love to hear that. So again, you're a class of 2000. So what buildings did change, right? So you had Morgan Hall, correct? And then the Science Center had just been newly opened, correct?
The Science Center came just as I was leaving, and Morgan Hall was dedicated the winter of my junior year, and I recall when, and you'll see pictures of this, it was such a fun event, but when we moved the library from the academic building to Morgan Hall, we had a line of students moving books across to move the free labor.
So you had the library in the academic building as well,
where the student commons is now. Wow. That was the library for
lasted a long time
from my 8th grade through junior year. That was the library halfway through the junior year. Yeah.
Awesome. And obviously the gym wasn't even a thought at that point. We were still in the Carpenter Gymnasium, correct?
Absolutely. Which was I had so many memories there. Went to so many just absolute great games there. My 8th grade year, we won state championship in basketball, which was in no part to me, but it was great to be a part of it, to be in the fans, I was an 8th grader, so I was way up in the back of the crowd section, but it was so fun to feel a part of the community, and that for me, I think that year really made me feel like, okay, this is the place. I'm a part of something, even though I'm not on the court, even though I wasn't on the team that year.
So much of the reason why we were doing this is about Giving Day and how our community comes together all in for Trinity to help all the different facets, all the aspects of our community that one might not know about. Talk a little bit about our global engagement and the opportunities that our kids have today to see the world and experience different places.
Oh, it's really phenomenal. The offerings that we've had that if I would have seen as a student, would have just absolutely jumped at.
This year is Japan, correct?
This year is Japan, yes. I'd have to shout out Maria Bartz, who is the head of our global engagement program, and has just done absolute wonders with choosing, the areas that students are really interested in going, and having great, faculty and staff leadership to go on these trips with these students. And this year is Japan, and I'm just thrilled to have the opportunity to take some students there and to experience with them. I've never been, but to experience with them, a brand new culture. And it's always great. I mean, this with football, when you see students, in a different context, you really get to know them so much better. And I can't wait to travel with these students. And I've gotten I've been lucky enough to travel in the past to Spain and to Italy and to Greece with students, and it's really one of the highlights of working here. Absolutely.
Yeah, I second that. I got a chance to go to South Africa with the group.
That was like a real fun trip.
Yeah. So, but again, yes, getting to know them, different students, and outside of the classroom or outside of the traditional athletics realm is definitely something that I enjoy as well. Well, Chris, thank you for doing this. This is great. And we're really wrapping this series up. And this has just been excellent to be able to have an opportunity to speak with all of our alums about the different changes and what it looks like here at Trinity. And yeah, so thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right.